Hello friends, now the next 15 minutes or so I would be talking to you on how to present the examination paper. Thanks to Hariharan sir for providing me this opportunity. Friends, in examination, take a very simple exam. I'll more likely concentrate on accountancy and a little bit of taxation. I will not go deep into the subject. It would be only basics of these two. Accountancy, take be it intermediate or be it final. Final we call it as FR. It's for 100 marks. And the time that is available to you is only 180 minutes. That means friends, we have got 3 hours which is 180 minutes. That means what we need to understand is, for 1 mark we have got around 1.8 minutes. I would not ask you to use the entire 1.8. You can use only 1.5 minutes, which means for 1 mark you can use only 90 seconds. So, if at all you have got, let's say, for 100 marks, assuming we are writing for 90 to 95 marks, I have written for 90 marks. Then 90 into 1.5 comes to around 135 minutes. It is like 2 hours and 15 minutes. So we will be still left with 45 minutes of time. Let's go step by step. Let's say first question is for 10 marks. You have to ensure that you finish it by 15 minutes. If at all you are not able to finish in 15 minutes, pause that, maybe spend a minute or 2 extra, leave that question, then go to the next one. What I understand by interacting with various students is, many people lose out because of this very important constraint, that is time constraint. If at all in examination, instead of 3 hours, if someone comes back and gives you 8 hours, then the pass percentage will increase tremendously. There are various constraints in examination. One of the most critical constraint is time. So 10 mark problem, ensure you finish within 15 minutes, that's all. So in intermediate, it could be a problem. For group 2, it could be a problem on consolidation. Or in group 1, it could be a problem on preparation of schedule 3 financial statements. Any of those things. If it is a 10 mark, assuming for a 10 mark, it could be more than that also. If it is for a 10 mark, ensure you are finishing at 15 minutes. Hard stop at 17 minutes, that's all, not more than that. In case the problem does not tally, leave page, go to the next one. There are many people who do a research on this problem. That means 10 mark problem, they do it for 20 minutes, 25 minutes, 30 minutes, and still the problem does not tally. And when you go to the next problem, you get little bit of jittery. You get you keep things will be only regarding that first problem. You will not be able to do all those things will happen. Instead, stop that and go to the next problem. Very important thing in examination is to understand this small point. So you keep doing like this, assuming you write even 100 marks, right? And by 150 minutes you will be able to complete. Maybe here and there you would have taken 1 minute extra, 2 minutes extra. By 160 minutes you will be able to complete. You still have got the 20 minutes. Now go back to the place where you have left the problem in between and go and complete that problem in that 20 minutes. So you have left, let's say, 2 problems in between. Go and complete the balance 2 problem, or even out of 2 if you are able to complete 1, that is also fine. So moral of the story is, for 1 minute please do not take more than 1.5 for 1 mark, for 1 mark please do not take more than 1.5 minutes. This is the very critical thing, and I thought this is one of the important aspects for your examination. The second important point in examination, write relevant steps. Most critical, friends. Because in examination, what carries weightage is not the final answer, but the relevant steps. I'll give an example in inter accounts and also final tax, so that you will be able to understand what is that I am trying to tell you. In accountancy, let's say you are doing a topic, incomplete records. accounting from incomplete records, group 1 accountancy. In that, let's say you have to find out what is the cash collected from debtors. Now how do? You prepare a debtors account, to balance brought down, to sales, by balance carried down, and the balancing figure would be cash collected from debtors in a normal circumstance. There are various other things also that could happen, discount, bad debts. I am not going into. Go prepare a debtors account. Instead of doing it in calculator, okay, opening balance is 10,000, add sales minus closing balance, let me find out. No, don't do that. Go ahead, prepare debtors account and show this is how you got the amount that is collected from debtors. Because how else you will tell the examiner that you found out without giving a proper working note? You cannot, you don't have the luxury of telling the examiner, please reach out to me in case you have got doubts, my number is so and so. All those luxuries are not available. So whatever you want to do, it has to be communicated only through something in your examination sheet. So please write the relevant steps. Now giving an example, in case of tax, let's say you have to compute income from house property. Let's say the rent received is 70,000 rupees per month. So 70,000 into 12 and you get 30% deduction. Many people what they do, they calculate 70,000 into 12, whatever, 8,40,000 or whatever, minus 30% and then write the number alone in the problem. No, don't do that. Show the working to the examiner. Workings will carry marks. It is all step marks that carries and it is not. Again I will repeat friends, it is not the final answer. Assuming, let's say, you have done all the steps that are possible, but you just missed tallying the balance sheet. Maximum they can reduce is 1 or 1.5 marks, that's all. If it is a 16 mark problem and you missed only writing this last point, then maximum they can reduce is only 1.5 marks, not more than that. So don't be too much bothered about the 1.5 marks. Be bothered about the 14.5 marks. If you miss the steps, you will not get the relevant marks. Very, very critical is all these in practical papers like costing, accountancy, taxation, FM, in all these things, these are very, very critical. Step marks are extremely critical. Please do not miss the step marks. Then the third point is, for inter, you might have spent 9 months. For inter, you might have spent 9 months preparing. For final, you might have spent so much of time preparing. You do not know. Some might have started immediately after joining articleship. Some might have started after at a later point in time. Whatever time, right? Whatever time that you have got for preparation, you have to express everything in 3 hours. What you have got is only 3 hours. So you might have studied for 6 months, 9 months, 1 year, 1.5 years, but you have to express everything in 3 hours. Therefore, please always try to start any question which is known to you fully. That means where you are so much confident. For example, let's say in group 1 accountancy, if you know hire purchase extremely well, start with that if there is a problem. Always try to create the best impression in the mind of the examiner by answering the first question, writing it properly, ensuring you do, I will not say very, very neatly, at least legibly you should write. Proper working note reference you do. That means create a best impression in the mind of the examiner by writing the first question properly. Because whatever you have struggled for your 6 months, 9 months, 1 year, whatever might be the time limit, it has to be expressed within 3 hours. And the examiner is going to decide your fate in 10 minutes time, or he will correct maybe even 20 minutes time. So you have to create that impression in the mind of the examiner. So he will read line by line, everything is fine. You have to create that impression. How do you create? Write. The first question always should be the best question that you know. It can be any question. You can even start with problem number 5. No doubt, no problem. CA doesn't tell you that you have to write only in a order. No, any order you can start. But whenever you start, you have to start in a new page, that's all. So you can start in any order. So please ensure that you write the first question, whichever is known to you, maybe first question, third question, 50A, 50B, whatever is known to you, write that first, so that you create that impression in the mind of the examiner. That is the most critical thing again. The fourth one, please ensure that before you go and write the examination, write at least one examination. That is, write at least one in your home itself. If at all you are not going to go outside because the pandemic is going on, you are not going to go outside. There are so many question papers available. Premier Academy is conducting test series. You can go ahead and take it up. The reason is, while doing problems, it's all only net practice that you are doing. You go and see any two, cricket 2. Before the cricket 2 starts, there will be one practice match that they are doing. Same manner. Before you go and write, be it intermediate or final or even foundation for that matter, before you go and write, please ensure, friends, that you spend some time in writing a small examination at your end. Maybe if at all you are not going to, go to any academy, there are so much of question papers that are available. Premier Academy is conducting so much of test series. Take it up, write that, so to get that confident. Because if at all, for example, the two very, very critical is for final. Because the habit of writing itself is not there. You would have all studied properly. While doing in class, you would have written very, very slowly. In 3 hours, you have to get that speed. That speed is also very, very important. Speed with legibility. I will not even say neat. Neat is not required. Legible, it should be legible at least. So, that speed and legibility will all happen only if you practice. Therefore, please ensure that you write one examination before you go on with the final examination, before you go and write the intermediate or final, whatever is conducted by the institute. That is also something that you have to bear it in mind. Now, the next one is, if you write, let's say you have written one paper. God forbid you have not done that paper properly. Many students, what they will do? They will skip the attempt. They will say, okay, I will write the next attempt. Why? God willing, you have cleared that and all the other question papers are easy. Then what would happen? You would be able to sail through that. Now friends, assuming you are not even cleared that paper, but you get an exemption in other papers, you don't need to repeat that. Therefore, what is my advice is, friends, please do not skip any papers. Please do not skip any papers. Even if, for example, God forbid you have not written something properly, don't be bothered. Write the other papers. I have seen many children were able to clear that attempt, even thinking that they have not done. How do you know? The valuation might be easy, or there could be other stuffs where it would be very easy. Therefore, please do not skip any paper. Any paper. Do not skip any paper. That is very, very critical. The last and final thing, friends. Please ensure that you are hale and healthy. You should be mentally strong. You should be physically strong. I was one of the persons where I had a kind of chicken pox before I went and wrote my foundation. So much of mental stress. No, you should not fall ill before examination. At least 2 months before the examination, you should be staying fit. You should be staying healthy. You should be mentally healthy. You should also be physically healthy. Now quickly telling you, what are the various points that I was telling you all these times. The first and foremost important thing that I was telling you was, you should not spend more than 1.5 minutes for 1 mark. Second, I was telling you was, step marks carry weightage. Please ensure that you do not skip any marks. The third point I was telling you was, first impression is always the best impression. Try to give your best shot in the question number 1. Then I was telling you about practice. You should ensure that you practice the examination questions. Finally, I was telling you that you should ensure that you stay healthy. So these are the small points that I thought I will share it with you. I know you will all rock, friends. Just ensure that you are confident. You would be able to do it extremely well. All the best for your examinations. Be safe. Thank you.